Okay, upper left-hand corner of your chart, achievement lines. These are lines that come off the top of your lifeline, and they either go straight up or they kind of point to that Jupiter finger, but they go up. I don't count anything that goes down. Oh, well, that's the guardian angel lines that go down. So any of these lines, if they're really a strong line, like they've got extra color in them, or they're a real fat line, I've circled it. Or if they're really long, I've circled it. Okay, these are the ages when you have the achievements. Age 12, 13, 17, 19, 20. Remember, this is up in the upper left-hand corner. 20 is circled. That means an extra good achievement. 26, 28, 29, 31, 33, 35 is an extra good one. 38, 39, 41, 42, 48, 49, circled at 52, 53, 54, 55, 57, 59, 63, 70, and 72. And that's as far as I can go by that time that line's gone around the back of the hand. Down here now to the headline. This is causing some problems here. That headline should go right straight across your hand, and it shouldn't dip down there underneath that sun finger. Yours is dipping down. It's a depression line. Indicates that you're jammed up in that top part of the spine. Find that chart that says understanding your cervical spine, and look down at the bottom of the chart. It's got a picture of a vertebrae on it. The vertebrae are all stacked up on your spine there. Out of each one of those vertebrae, a nerve comes out of each side, and those nerves go to different areas of your body: your eyes, your ears, your nose, your heart, your lungs, your colon, your spleen, your arms, your legs. Then they end up in your hands and your feet. So that's how I can see them. And that headline should go straight across your hand. You're very smart as it goes across, because the straighter across your hand the line goes, the smarter you are. But it dips down on the end, which is depression line. I think you're out of the very, very top. Those top two, the atlas and the axis, that's the 1C and the 2C. I think they're locked up from what it looks like in your hand. Here's how you tell. I'm not just a palm reader. I've got a master's degree in health education, and I started learning this palm reading stuff when I was finishing up my master's degree, and it all matched together. I couldn't believe it. Here's how you check that to see if those top two vertebrae are locked up. Sit up straight in a chair or stand up and turn your head to the right. See if you can get your chin straight across your shoulder. Now, you can't pull your shoulder forward. You've got to leave your shoulder just natural, and see if you can get your chin over your shoulder. Now turn your head to the left. See if you can get your chin across your left shoulder. If you can't get that chin over one of those shoulders, you're caught up there in that top vertebrae. Okay, let's see where we're at. Oh, and then a line that kind of matches that is the health line. See that word that says sociable down there in the lower left-hand corner of your chart? And the health line starts at the fate line and goes up right to where the base of the money line is. And your line's got 2 or 3 little breaks in it, and it's low at stress. That's your internal organs, your colon, your spleen, your liver, your anything on the inside. If you're out of place a little bit in that lower back, it's going to put some pressure on those internal organs, especially the colon. Okay, down to the heart line. That heart line is going to tell you about your emotions and about your heart health. Now, that line starts in between the Jupiter and the Saturn fingers, comes down, makes a nice little curve in the hand, then goes to the outside of the hand. Sometimes it makes a curve. If it's real straight, you're real tough emotionally, you hold in your emotions. But you've got a nice, good curve in that heart line. It means you're very loving and caring. And what you don't want to see on that heart line is any little islands. Look up there in the upper left-hand corner of your chart where it says lines of energy. Run your finger down where it says island, I-S-L-A-N-D. That's little ovals. They're little breaks in the energy in the line. You don't have any on that heart line. Your heart health looks really good. Really good. That's probably because you're active when you work. And then in that little area that says sixth sense, that is your intuition. And you want to see a nice little fat pad in there. Yours looks pretty good. Here's how that works. If you got a problem you got to solve, just clear your mind completely. Let it go kind of blank. And don't even think about it for about 30 minutes. And when you come back to solve the problem, you'll probably have the problem already solved, because that gives your intuition time to kick in, or your sixth sense. And yours is very good, so listen to little promptings inside your head. Oh, you got a little lucky sign in your hand. I think it was on your fate line. It's a triangle at age 37 to 39. They're usually either 2 or 3 years long when you have the luck signs. Children lines come down, straight down. They ring around the Mercury finger. I get 2 children on the line. 2 children lines coming down from the ring around the Mercury finger. And then that section in between the end of the heart flirt lines and the ring around the Mercury finger, that tells you about your marriages and your relationships. The marriage and relationships lines go horizontal, come from the outside of the hand, they go in towards the palm. That first section, right, starting at the flirt lines, that area is divided in thirds. That first section is about age 20, 30, and that next third would be about 40, 50, and the last third is about 60, 70, 80. Okay, I see about 4 relationships. There's lots of relationship lines in there. I see 3 before marriage now. And then there's a really long one after your marriage. That's possible that one of those relationship lines could be a marriage. Now, the marriage line in your hand is quite long. It's got some good color to it. And it looks like a really good marriage. The only way I can tell when you're going to get married is there's a little marking in the hand, and it shows on the left hand only. Looks like the letter Y. So it's kind of a stick with like a little fork in it. And it sits on the fate line. That fate line goes from the base of your palm up to that Saturn finger. If it goes anywhere else, it's not the fate line. Anyway, it's got a good timeline on it. About every 1/8 of an inch is about a year. About every 1/2 an inch is about 7 years. And where that crosses over the headline, that's about, well, between about age 40 and 42. So, let me see, where did I find that? Oh, your chances to marry. I found that little Y marking on that fate line in about 4 places. That's your chances to marry. That doesn't mean that you'll take that chance to marry. I didn't look below age 30. But down there at the on the lower left-hand corner, it'll say of your chart, it says chances to marry. Got one at 36. Oh, you're 36 right now, aren't you? 36, 38. I think 38 was a really good one. Let me see what's going on at 38. Oh, you've got a change there too at 38 in your career. 38, 40, and 52. Highly likely, it probably won't be the one at 52 because the line sits too far down in the hand in time-wise. So your guardian angels, the lines, this shows on your left hand only. This is who your guardian angel is. The line will come up from underneath that lifeline. It'll touch on the lifeline at the age you were when somebody that you bonded with has died. Like your grandparents, your parents, your siblings, aunties, your uncles, your cousins, old boyfriends, old girlfriends. Then it makes a little line that goes right across that lifeline. So here's the age you were when somebody that you were kind of close to has died, and they become a guardian angel to you. In that lower left-hand corner in purple, age 14, age 15, age 16, 25, 30, 33, and 35. Now, if you've ever had a visit from a guardian angel, it's going to show in the right hand only, underneath the lifeline, and you'll have a line that comes up and touches at the base of that lifeline, but it doesn't make a line that goes across. Now, there's a good timeline on that lifeline. In between the thumb and the Jupiter finger, that starts at about age 10. And again, the same thing as the fate line. Every half an inch is 7 years. So I can take my pencil and count that down. That's a little divine intervention. A little visit from a guardian angel if you've been really sick, or if you've had an accident, or if you're in a distressful situation, or if you've had someone die. Sometimes their spirit will come back and visit you if you've been close to them before they go off to the light. Here's a visit from a guardian angel at age 14. Now that's when somebody died, so they might have come and visited you before they went to the light at age 19 and at age 26. Money line is a line that runs from the end of the headline up to the base of the little finger. And it runs it's run vertical, but it's on kind of a slant in between the sun and the Mercury finger. One line, one income. See that in between the headline and the heart line? That's about age 20, 30, and half of 40. In your 20s and 30s. And then two lines in your 40s, and then it changes to one line in your 50s, 60s, and 70s. So you got a couple lines going there in your 40s. That's two incomes. The length of the fingers is your talents. Everybody has talents. Nobody gets cheated, so long fingers mean one thing, short fingers mean another thing. Nothing's good or bad. It's what you're born with. The shape of the palm is probably your most important talent. You kind of got a musician's hand. It's a little tiny bit square at the top, but we just look at the palm. Little tiny bit square at the top, and then it's kind of rounded at the bottom. If it isn't a musician hand, it's kind of you got kind of a cross between athletic, because it's kind of squarish, but it's rounded, artistic. But then you've got a real creative finger too. So I'm wondering if you do any artsy stuff. That could be music, could be art, could be creating things, almost anything. Upper right hand corner of your chart, type of fingertips. This is your personality. And I just read the right hand. You've got all 5 round fingers, intuitive, quick, very compassionate. Generally I see that on the doctors and nurses. That means you're very caring about other people. You got another compassionate marking in your hand also. Okay, jump back down there to the thumb. This is excellent. You got a short thumb. When you have a short thumb, you work really well with numbers. That index finger, now, let me explain to you the names on these fingers. Palm reading is about 2,000 or 3,000 years old. And they went through and they named all places in the palms and in the fingers. And they usually named them with Greek gods' names. So that index finger is called the Jupiter finger. And the middle finger is the Saturn finger, and that ring finger is either the Sun finger or the Apollo finger, and the little finger is the Mercury finger. And then they named places in the hand also. That space between the heart line and the headline, that's called the Mars area. And that big pad right at the base of the thumb, where it says sexual libido, that is called the Mount of Venus. Venus, goddess of love. The other places in the hand aren't important. Okay, let's go to the Jupiter finger now, index. Oh, that's long. That's excellent. You've got a really good long finger. That's the boss, the manager, the supervisor, the teaching finger, sales finger. That is excellent. That middle finger is not very long. It's kind of short. If it's real long, you're just out to make a lot of money, because that's good business sense. But it's kind of short. You're very concerned with social issues, very compassionate, very caring towards your fellow man. That's good. And then that ring finger, that's just kind of average, kind of long, kind of short, right smack in the middle. Creative, imaginative, inventive, practical, systematic, organized. You like things, and you like a place for everything and everything in its place. So it's kind of average, but you've got two really good lines that run from the palm up into that finger, and they're creative achievement lines. So sometime in your life you're going to have some creative achievement lines. So start thinking what your creative talents are, and work with those. That little finger's a little bit short. If that's really long, that means that you work well with words. It's the writer's finger. And it's a little bit short. It means when you work, you like to be a little active. You don't like to sit a day. You don't like to do paperwork. On that headline, if you've got problems in that spine, and it's going to show those little islands. Remember I told you about those little, they were a break in the energy of the line? So under that Jupiter finger, along that headline, that's going to show you your cervical spine. Under that Saturn finger, it's going to show you your thoracic spine, the middle of your back, below the base of your neck. And underneath the Sun finger is going to be your lumbar spine, and underneath that Mercury finger is your tailbone, your sacrum and your coccyx. So see where I've marked the red marks, the little islands? Those are little islands. They're a break in the energy of the line, and yours starts clear up there in between your thumb and your index finger. And they go along and they're really bad right at the base of your neck. I find that in almost everybody nowadays, because they lean over those darn computers and they stress that neck out of place. And yours goes just a little bit below the base of the neck. So run your finger across where it says the areas. That column is the area that the nerves from the vertebrae go to. And that's the head, the pituitary gland, the scalp, the face, the ear. And then find that column that says effects. If that vertebrae is out of place, it's going to cause, it's going to pinch those little nerves and cause those effects over in that last column where it says headaches, nervousness, insomnia. The reason being is when that's turned out of place, it pinches those little nerves that come off the side. The nerves go out into the body, the inner meshes of the muscles, and you're getting a little pinched nerve in there. The nerve sends out a little pain signal. It goes zit, zit, zit. Intermeshes with the muscles. Muscle gets a little muscle spasm in it. Then it holds that darn vertebrae out of place. And you have to either do some exercises or get a chiropractor to put it back in. The very last line now is your fate line. Look down in that lower right-hand corner of your chart, and it tells you about your fate line. That's your career and your lifestyle. Doesn't tell me which. It's one or the other. But when that line breaks, it's a change in either your career or your lifestyle, or sometimes you'll just have a little fork off the line. It's a little bit of a change, but it's not as big a change as a break in the line is. Okay, your line starts down the middle of your hand, which means you're private. But it starts to the outside, you're kind of sociable. And you have to have your friends and family around you all the time. But yours is private. You have to have a little private time. Lower right-hand corner, here's changes in your fate line. Age 25, 26, 33, 37, 38. Then you got a little change there at 38. You got an achievement line at 38. 40 is a biggie. That line breaks. Now that crosses over that headline at that point. Remember, this line is going up to that Saturn finger. 40, ages 45 to 51, I see two lines, and that's two jobs. Or it could be a hobby and a job. Or it could be in a family and a job. And then age 54, there's a little bit of a change. Age 56 and 61. Then at age 62, the line splits, and one line goes over to the left of the Saturn finger. See, I got a little asterisk there, and you got to go over there to the middle of the page. It says the fate line that goes to the left of the Saturn finger means the spine has been jammed. That makes this, it says this blurs the line in the right hand. And then the other line goes straight up into the finger. Where that crosses over, that ring around the base of the Saturn finger, that is age 80. And the line crosses over 80 and goes on up for about half an inch. You're going to live till you're about 87 years old.